In today's video, I explain how you can build muscle and lose fat simultaneously.
By myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Paul Ravella from ProPhysique.com. In today's video, I'm going to address the topic of building muscle at the same time as you are losing body fat. And the question came from my Instagram direct message. So if you're interested in sending me a question, I'll put my Instagram on the screen here. Please go there, send me a direct message. I scroll through them, I screenshot them, and I appreciate all the great questions that I get. And I try to answer them based on how I feel it's going to help you guys out. So if you sent a question and I didn't get it, don't be afraid to send it again. I promise you I continue to look through there on the daily basis. And for today's question, well, it's something that I think this time of year a lot of people are interested in. People that are getting new into the gym are very interested in this idea of putting on muscle and losing body fat. Now, we call that body composition. When I consider body composition is the fact that we are focusing on having more muscle and less body fat, thus looking better. That would be someone that's usually happier with their physical look. Depending on what your goals are, a little bit of body fat's not a bad thing, okay? But for most of us, there is this happy balance between how much muscle we have and how much body fat we have. And if you guys are enjoying my videos, I'd love for you to hit the subscribe button. It's been really motivating for me to hit that 100,000 mark and beyond, and I really appreciate you guys doing that. So today's video, I want to explain exactly how we do that. How can someone build muscle and lose fat at the same time? So let's talk about the scenarios where I feel that's possible. There's really only two scenarios where I feel like you can actually add muscle and lose body fat at the same time. The first scenario is someone who's never really been into resistance training, someone who's never put a lot of time and effort into the gym or into a sport, okay? Because even if you're playing sports, you are building muscle, you are getting a base. A lot of the athletes that I work with have come from a background of either gymnastics or some type of a sport like a baseball or basketball, and they have a good foundation of muscle just from training for that sport and playing that sport, okay? But if you take someone that's been pretty sedentary most of their life and they've never really tracked their diet, they've kind of overate, and they have a lot of body fat, but they've also never resistance trained, this individual can certainly reap the benefits of going into the gym or finding something that they enjoy and putting on a considerable amount of lean body mass. Now, the question stated how to build lean muscle. I think, and I just want to clarify that. I think I know what you mean. You want to build muscle without putting on more fat, because most people associate muscling up with bulking up, right? Like I put on muscle, but I'm also bulky. Lean muscle, well, muscle tissue doesn't differentiate, okay? Muscle is muscle, body fat is body fat, okay? Now there may be, yes, for those exercise scientists out there, I understand that there is fat deposits in our muscle cells, but for the most part, you're building muscle, you're not building fat, okay, if you're working out. So I get what you mean. There is no such thing as lean muscle though, it's just muscle. So when we're trying to build muscle at the same time as losing fat, the usual compounding variables are you need to be in a caloric surplus to build muscle, you need to be in a caloric deficit to lose fat. I say nay. If you are new to this and your body fat is higher than your set point, I believe you can lose body fat pretty rapidly by just hitting your maintenance calories, just maintaining your calories, or even being in a deficit. What you're going to do as a new trainer is you're going to see this immense response. It's commonly referred to as like noob gains, but I've seen it many times. I remember it myself. I've seen it with friends that started joining the gym with me. It's almost annoying. Every time they go in the gym, they lift more weight. Every week you see them, they've just put on some more lean body mass, okay? So the first scenario where I feel it's really possible is someone that hasn't been resistance training long, and their body fat is well above their natural set point. Because as we start to move and train and eat properly, our body fat doesn't want to be that high. That is a response to the way you've been treating yourself. If we get into these good habits, we're gonna find the body fat comes down, lean body mass goes up. You might even notice the scale doesn't really move a whole lot as you're kind of recomping your body a little bit there. What's actually happening is you're putting on lean body mass and filling out your muscles at the same rate that you're losing body fat. So really important at this time that you pay attention to measurements, pay attention to pictures, because you might see some vastly different things, but the scale might not be moving that much. The other scenario where I feel like we can see a significant amount of muscle gain and muscle loss at the same time is someone that has a lot of training history and also has a lot of body fat, but they haven't been to the gym in a long time. I come across these athletes quite a bit that were bodybuilders from the past or athletes from the past that just haven't done anything. In fact, I've got quite a few clients that I'm working with now that are actually like the spouses of my competitors, the husbands, and we start putting them on a macro plan, giving them a little bit of cardio, give them a workout plan, and they just start dropping body fat like rapidly, and they're building muscle at the same time. Why? Because muscle memories actually exist. So I did a review of muscle memory research that was done in MASS, the Monthly Application of Strength Monthly Application of Strength Sport. They actually discussed just how muscle memory works, how it actually changes our genes. So when you have a history of training, it's a lot easier to get your muscle mass back to that point, a lot easier than it was to get there initially, right? So when you take someone who hasn't trained in a long time and has a lot of body fat, you get the same response: a rapid growth in lean body mass and an easy drop in body fat because you're above your natural set point. We all have these places where our bodies like to kind of reside body fat wise. So yes, that's how it's done, but it's not easy, okay? It's gonna require dedication to your diet, it's gonna require dedication to your training, and it's gonna require dedication to planning ahead, sleep, all the extracurriculars, okay? I think the one thing I've noticed about myself and about the athletes that I work with that allows us to be kind of successful over a long period of time is that our lifestyle matches our goals. We're not doing something that is completely outside of our nature. We love going to the gym, we love eating well. Yes, I love having my treats, but I also love the feeling of getting in a high protein meal. I love the feeling of going to the gym and having a good workout. And I love the feeling of just feeling kind of good all the time. So once you get into these routines, that's where you can really build some momentum. And if your lifestyle hasn't been like that in the past and you shift to it, you're gonna see some really positive changes, okay? Well, that's it. It's Monday, guys. I gotta get back to the machine. You heard the dinging back there. That's my work. Well, I appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.